by Carol and Penny. This is the beginning of the big picture. So you're not going to see me because I'm going to be behind the camera, and John and the show pony are the stars. The next person you see is John. Yep. Okay, Carol. This is the guy that you're going to have to pay attention to. His name is John, and he is the short, fat guy here at Triangle RV, and you can see why we say that. John, how tall are you?
6'8".
Okay, so that's why we pay attention to him. And let me put it this way, what John doesn't know isn't worth watching. So take it away.
Okay, so the first thing we want to do is take a look under the hood, see what we're working with. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to open our driver's door and find out where the hood release is.
Okie dokie, I'm right with you.
We get our door open, and as you can see, our hood release is right here. The nice thing about this is, when the door is closed, there is no way you can get that hood open.
Okay.
Pop that, and we'll go up to the front. So just under the hood, there's a little lever. That one there, it's going to allow us to bring it up.
Yep.
And we're going to put our little prod rod in here to hold it up. Alright, so when we look underneath, we're going to see a few things. Power steering's here, so you don't have to get down to the motor. When we look here, pop this open, that's where our windshield washer fluid's going to go in. Look down below, dipstick is right here for our oil. And of course we have our filler here.
Okay.
We move over. Radiator fluid is here. They're usually set to 50 below. Don't think you go anywhere that cold, but at least you know it's covered.
Yeah, I don't think that's her intention. She's going to sunny, warm places.
Master brake cylinder.
Okay.
Okay. When we look, the main fuse panel for the chassis is here, which has nothing to do with the internal workings. You have 2 points out here as well. If we look here, that's a negative post. And there's the positive post if you ever need to have a jump start. This way you don't have to try to get to the starting battery. It makes life a lot easier. Always make sure you cover this back over though. Don't leave it open, okay? Really not much else under here.
No, I think if you need to know any more than that, you better call a mechanic, right?
Yeah. Now, when we're putting this away, it's important that this actually goes into place and is not just left somewhere, which may get down into the release mechanism and cause you grief. So always make sure you lock it in here, okay? When we bring it down, get to a certain point, let go of the hood, and just check to make sure it can't come up on you when you're going down the road. Alrighty, so let's go down the side here. Unleaded fuel only. Really simple to get to. Check something here, and you see the brake's not on right now, so always good when you stop somewhere, have your brake on.
Good point.
There's a little button right here. This button in here works with the massive alternator, and you have instructions on your visor on how to use your key fob so that if you are parked somewhere and the battery starts getting low, the motor will automatically start and charge up your batteries again.
That is brilliant. So it's like an auto start then, right?
Yeah, and there's a certain way that you press your key fob.
Okay.
So when you are locking this unit, you press the lock button once and everything's locked. If you continue to play with your remote, you may walk away and wake up later with the vehicle running.
Oh.
So make sure you don't set it to do that.
Good point.
Work our way down. Top one here, little guy comes off. Then this is how you fill up the freshwater tank.
Right, and I know, Carol, that you had some questions about all these different fills. So can you explain the difference between the tank fill and the city fill?
Yes. Tank fill, when you fill up your tank, is when you're dry camping and you're going to use your water pump. So the water pump will take it from the freshwater tank. If you're hooked to city water, you do not need to turn the water pump on. It works just like in your house. When you turn the tap on, you get water. Always make sure to put these little guys back in. because you don't want grit in that getting in and causing any problem in here and blocking it. When we look down below, this is where they fill our propane. Right now it's in on position. If you are to go on such as like a ferry, you would have to have this off.
Can you show that again? I didn't get that.
Right now we're off.
Yeah.
Right now we're on.
Oh, okay.
This enables everything to work inside, but you do have a secondary switch for a shutoff inside as well. They fill here. This is the bleeder here. Whenever you're getting it filled, do not walk away. Make sure the person does it properly. As soon as you start getting liquid coming out of here, that's it. Stop filling. It does have an auto stop system as well with this type of valve, so can't let people overfill it. Just make sure that the guy is not trying to hit the lever a whole bunch of times to get more in. Always put your dust cap on. Make sure you're not getting any grit or anything in there. If he hasn't put it on, do it yourself to make sure you don't have any problems with your valve. If the campsite you go to has cable vision, you can hook onto right here and run cable vision up to watch your TV. The TV will also work on antenna. And when we go inside, you'll see how that happens. This is your power cord here. Disconnects from the coach, a little bit of a left turn and pulls out. And it'll be stored in the back. This is the venting system for the Truma, your combi system that runs furnace and hot water. It also has a vent system to keep the batteries warm underneath the coach. If you are in cold weather and you have this parked at your house, make sure it's plugged in, run your Truma furnace on the low setting as an eco, and keep your batteries warm at all times. If they get down to a certain level and they freeze, you will need to replace them. So always take care of them. So that also means making sure that your propane is topped up at all times. So you will need to check the unit, go in and see how much propane is in the coach. If you start getting low, it's a good idea, head down to where you can get propane and fill it back up. All right.
Right, those batteries, you don't want to replace them, do you?
No. The battery pack for this system is almost $20,000.
Oh my gosh, take care of these batteries, Carol.
In here is where your sewer hose is kept.
Oh, yes, this is a very glamorous part of the demonstration.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Work our way over it. This unit has two valves. So you have a black side and you have a gray side. You also have pump system. Okay, so what you're going to do is take your cap off, put your sewer hose on, make sure the other end's in the hole first, otherwise this won't be a great day. You're going to pull your one valve, let all the black drain out. Once everything is drained out, close up your black, pump out the gray side with your valve.
Yeah, cool.
This also has an extra feature. If we come over to the other side, right here is a black water tank flush. So if you've drained everything out of the black, it's a good idea to hook your hose onto here. And there's a wand inside the black tank that sprays everywhere to get it all clean. What I normally do is I pull the sewer hose out of the hole a bit and wait till it's nice and clear. Nice clear water. That way you've known you've done a good job and it's all cleaned up. Close your black valve, turn the hose off here because it only does the black side, it does not do the gray side. Let's go back over here again. So once the black's all cleaned out and nice and clear water coming out, you always close your black valve up, open the gray valve. Use your pump to bring it over from the other side from the gray tank. Once everything is out, you'll hear the pump go from a dull roar, like a roar, to whit, and you know that it's empty. Close your valve up, put your cap on. The last thing you want to do though is go inside, run some water down the toilet into the tank, and add your toilet chemical. Always make sure it's charged and ready to go before you use it. All right. Now we're going to take a look at this fun guy. Take your bikes with you. So, as you tell it rained here. Bring this down. There we go.
Oh wow.
Now these have little rotators here. undo those a bit. And then what you can do is you can change the position of it. So you'll be able to get your bikes in here. Once you put your bikes in here and lock the tires in, then you have for the first one on the main bar and on the second one on the main bar. So your bike is going to stay here. Always have these up out of the way when you want to put it away. Put these back in so that they're the same length, right? And tighten this back up. Just like that. Then they're not going to go anywhere while you're going down the road.
Right.
Lift back up. Bring a little lock around. Clicks into place. Like that. Bring these two guys back down. There we go.
Just like that.
And our three-moving lock. So what we want to do is unscrew this. Take your bolt out. Just bring it off the coach a little bit, up and out. Then what we can do,
This is so slick.
it has so many different points here. You can take this, hook it onto the roof rack, and it goes up against these here.
Right, wherever you see that silver metal, right,
That's right,
John?
not at the back because
No.
there's no support for it there.
Right.
This is so you can get up and clean your solar panel off.
Clean the solar panel.
So I'm sitting about 240 and I can actually go up here as well.
So you can actually walk on that roof,
You
John?
don't walk on the roof.
Okay,
This gives you a chance to be able to get here and wipe your solar panel off,
right,
move down to the next one, reach over and wipe it off.
okay. So can you store kayaks or anything up there?
There's no place up here to store anything right now.
Okay. But if you put racks up, would you be able to, or?
I've seen a couple units where it comes off the side here,
Yeah,
goes down and mounts on the frame.
okay,
Same with over here, mounts on the frame.
right.
And there's a holder on the side, and you put your kayak right here.
Oh, okay.
Bring it out from the wall a bit. Get it to come off the roof rack. There we go. So when we're going to put this back, we've got to make sure that you go in a bit and bring it back into the holder. You go driving down the road with this flying around on you. There we go. Just check it, make sure it's secure and it's not going to go anywhere. Make sure our back door is open. Easy access. Now when it comes to these lights up top, this one definitely has to be pointed up so it's not hitting on the bed. A lot of people have them down like this and it can eventually grab onto here. So
yeah.
just keep it up. They're nice little guys. Hit it once. We got blue.
Woohoo, sexy.
Press and hold. It goes white.
Okay.
So nice and bright.
Yep, good to
Hit it
know.
one more time. Off. Off.
Okay.
Nice and easy. Switch down here. We have a light right here.
Oh, that's handy.
There we go. So the independent one is just for right here. Okay? This one right beside the water pump switch is for on the driver's side.
Oh,
So this makes it a little bit easier if you have to hook up at nighttime.
oh, that's a
Gives
good
you
idea.
some light here so you can plug in, hook up your sewer hose, things like that.
Right.
They give you a water pump switch here in case you want to use your outside water. It's great for cleaning yourself off when you come back from the beach. What you need to do though, it's best not to have any water pressure happening at the time. Makes it a lot easier to hook up. You want to push back on the fitting just like a compressor, push this in all the way, and then pull on it just to make sure it's in the right position. Then of course what you would normally do, press it open, open your tap, and you got hot and cold, you can rinse off from coming back from the beach.
Great.
To disconnect it, we're going to push back on that, pull it out, and then we just put it back in where it's going to be stored. My suggestion though is hold it this way, pull your trigger, let any water drain out of it.
That's a good idea.
Because as we know, the water is going to end up in here.
Yeah.
Well, you have little storage compartments, you can put things in right here.
Very skinny things.
But, you know, if you put a couple hooks in here, you can hang some things as
Yeah,
well.
maybe some towels or something, eh?
Or, you know, extra extension cords, things like
Right,
that.
yeah.
Nice rug for up front. Never been opened, brand new, ready to go. We have 12 volt right here and 110.
Okay.
There's an adapter in here.
Right, this is what we're throwing in for you here. It is going to allow you to plug into regular electricity,
That's
right?
With this, you do not need to use the big cord that the unit comes with.
Right,
You can plug your extension cord right into the end,
yeah,
and you have 15 amps coming in.
right.
One thing we need to remember though, when we're on 15 amps, you're not able to use the air conditioner on AC mode. The compressor kicks in, jumps up to 20 amps, and blows the breaker in your house. So just remember, you can only use it in fan mode when you're on 15 amps. When we go inside, I'll show you how to do that as well.
Okay, and so should it be left plugged in like, all of the time, John? When
We're
it's
better
not
off
being
to
used?
keep it plugged in at all times to
Okay.
keep our batteries up.
Okay, yeah, that makes
We're going
sense.
to touch on that when we go inside as well.
Okay,
So I'm going to open up this little cupboard here. We're going to put this right in here. In here is your jack and your tire iron.
right.
Okay? It also comes with a little air compressor in case you get low on your tires. These are the blinds for the back windows. Very easy to use. They have little magnets in them. So we come up to here.
Oh, wow,
There we go. Nice and easy.
that's really easy. Yeah, and
I
there's one for
suggest
the
not
other
having
side?
them in when you're driving because you cannot see out the back windows.
No. And there's one for the other side too,
Yep,
right? Okay.
2 of them.
Yep.
You bet. We have the other screens for the side door and the front windows as well. Just gonna put this back up in here. I find it's a lot easier to take the bed down from the back door area than being in there with it. So what you're gonna do is press up, undo your seatbelt, and bring this down. And then we have a nice big bed.
Nice.
When you're traveling, always a good idea, up out of the way. Just pull up on the back part of the cushion so it sits in. Bring this down, make sure it's secure, and we're good to go.
Right. You always want to use that seat belt to secure it, right?
Yes,
Okay.
because if you go around the corner, it'll scare the heck out of you when it hits down.
Yeah. And you always close the left side first,
Yep,
don't you?
otherwise it will not close for you.
Right.
When we come to this side, we always saw our black water tank flush, but we'll just touch on it a little bit again, so that when you dump the black, always make sure you put the hose on here, let it spray all inside the coach tank, and check it to make sure it's nice and clean water coming out. Once you have that nice clean water coming out, you know you've done a good job. But always, always make sure once you're finished that you add some water to the tank and add your toilet chemical. That way it's charged, ready. Anything that goes down there will be treated right away. When you're plugged into power, you have 110 out. You can also use it by using the inverter. The inverter is a temporary use only though. As we know, inverter takes 12 volt and turns it into 110. So it can deplete your batteries fairly quickly. Looking at the next spot here, we have Cablevision out, in case you want to put a TV outside, and you also have 12 volts. Next up right here is solar panel. That's for an extra solar panel, a portable one. You already have 2 on the roof. and that's going to do the job for you.
Right.
Move our way along. One thing we need to know about our key fob, we're just going to lock everything again. Okay. Now, when you first come up, you hit the top one.
Here we go.
Alrighty. See our key fob here?
Yeah.
When we look at this, the very top one, it's going to unlock the front doors.
Okay.
Then your very bottom one unlocks the sliding door, then the back door.
Okay.
One thing you have to remember, when you go to lock this unit, if you don't hear the door locks click, it means you have one door not perfectly closed. It will not lock the unit unless all the doors are closed properly. It's good for security.
Yes. Good
Alrighty.
to know.
Let's open our sliding door here. Make sure she's unlocked. There we go.
Here we go.
We have a couple of switches down below. These are for awning. So we're going to press out. One touch. It comes out on her own.
Nice. That's for those sunny, sunny days.
One thing we have to remember about awnings, they should not be out if you're not with the unit. If you get a big heavy wind coming, a big rainstorm, should be a good idea to put it away. Automatically stops there. The next switch over and we turn on, and we have our lights all the way along the awning.
Wow. That's for the disco party.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have one more switch here. Click that one on. Gives you lights underneath the running board. Great for at nighttime.
Oh yeah. Then you won't trip on it.
Yep. It lets you see this so you're not going to fall in or fall out.
Right. And those lights are all here, right?
That's right. And when the green shows up, you know that it's on.
Okay.
We're going to turn our awning lights off. Okay?
Yeah.
We're going to press our in button. Automatically comes in.
So it doesn't have a wind sensor on it, right?
Well, what we can do here, press our out button. We're going to try it.
Okay.
Some of them come with wind sensors and some don't.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is simulate a storm
Okay.
and see if we have it on this one.
Oh,
It's windy enough,
yeah.
she's going to go back in for you.
Okay, good to know.
So if by chance you forgot it out and went down to the beach and it gets windy, when you come back you're going to find it's retracted for you.
That's a good feature.
And there we are. She's back in. Now, we have a little door here. That opens up, and this is how we winterize the coach. It comes with the bypass system. This goes in our jug. We take it over to winterize. We turn our pump on and we winterize the entire unit.
So it's not going to be winterized when the customer gets it.
That's right.
Right.
But we have it winterized right now to keep it safe because it has been kind of cold and we're
Yeah.
getting some frost.
Okay.
Just gonna put this back in here. That's out of the way. And you got to make sure that these line up proper with it.
Oh yeah.
Put this back in. There
Oh
we go.
yeah. Well, you'll know that it's
It's a
in
little
just.
fiddling, but
Yeah.
you get used to it.
Yeah.
Clicks into place. Has two little pull levers to bring it back down.
Yep.
So take the one, second one, bring it down out of the way. Your screen door says pull here for a reason.
Because it wants you to pull there.
Exactly. Nice and easy. It is not a handle for getting in and out of the coach though.
Right.
You have one here.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Because you
right.
could rip that right out, couldn't you? If you.
Well, you don't want somebody yanking on this.
No. It
Okay.
even says do not use it as a grab bar.
Exactly. We're going to hop inside here. Just going to go to the side here. Click, click, click.
What
Now, one, If we look outside, there's an outside light. Just above the sliding door near the back.
Take my word for it, it's there.
You can see it if you're outside. But of course we want to have some lights in here.
Yeah.
But if you turn around and look at the one there, I'll turn it on.
This one?
The one that's just above the driver and passenger seat. That's one level.
Right.
You take it down, the other level, brighter.
Yeah.
Okay? Of course we have the main ones right there. Then we have another set right here. Bathroom, bedroom, kitchen. Which also gives you a switch here. And now we're nice and bright in here.
Wow, yeah.
Propane is on. No lighter needed. As you can see, has an auto spark system. So what you want to do, have your spark going, bring it down to a flame, and there we go.
Oh.
We have flame right there.
Easy. Nice.
Okay?
Yeah.
Always have your spark going ahead of time. And there we are.
Right. Nice. Love cooking with gas.
The thing is, you have to hold it in, right? For it to release the gas up into the burner.
Okay.
Once they're going, then we can go ahead and bring this down to a little simmer.
Right, so you can adjust it.
Up. Now, one thing I'm going to stress right now, this is not for being nice and warm in the coach.
No.
You have to remember, flame lives off of oxygen. So you're going to want a vent pulling bad air out and drawing good air in, such as maybe one of the windows open a little bit. What you want to do is this power button here, press that, and your fan is automatically going to open up, and that's going to be drawing the bad air out.
Yeah.
You can slow this down or speed it up. You're positive or negative if you don't want it so loud. If we want to bring it up, it'll really pull the hot air out of here and the bad air.
Yeah.
If you're in a situation where you can't be using your air conditioner, this will pull the hot air out of here for you really well. Press our power button, shuts the fan down, automatically brings the lid down. And there we are. Never have this down while the flame is going. Open up our sink here. European style, as you can see, it is winterized, right?
Yep.
You can't close the lid if it's up. Okay, so always make sure, tilt it down and out of the way.
Right. So that bag won't be on it then?
No, that will be off.
Okay.
Window. Bring this little guy up. There we go.
Oh, nice.
Got a nice cover there. Yeah, and down.
Yeah.
This window does not open, because if it was open, the sliding glass door would take it off.
Yeah. For sure.
Down below, push in, unlocks it, you're able to open your drawers. Nice and easy. Look at this one here that's under the sink. Comes with a built-in filter system.
Oh, right. You were asking about that. There. Okay.
The little hole you see down on the bottom there, that is an access panel that comes out for the RV tech to go in to work on certain items under there. Always make sure that these are locked so they don't open up when you're going down the road. Same with your top ones. Come out just like that, and we lift it up. Lots of room.
Okay.
Yeah, click. Down below is your propane detector.
All right. So when the green light's on, it means it's functioning?
That's right.
Okay.
Propane detectors are hardwired in, you cannot shut them off.
Good.
They need to be running at all times. Just gonna move this over a bit here. Jump out of the way. Yeah. Okay, so there's a little clip here. Undo your little snap and always gently move this around. Okay. Goes up against the magnet, and now you've got your privacy.
Okay, so it's just a magnet. It doesn't have to click into something. The
No.
magnet holds it. Got it.
But you want to make sure that this is locked into place before you go for a drive.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be moving back and forth and making a bunch of noise.
Yeah.
Down below, you can store items in there, such as shampoo, things like that.
Yeah.
Then there's one on the other side here. Opens up. You can put your toilet paper in that one there.
Okay. I'm gonna just squeeze
That way you
it.
don't have to reach around the corner.
Oh yeah. That's handy. Can,
Yeah.
Okay. Look at that sink. It's so cute.
Around. It's got a rubber gasket around it, so it's going to keep the water out. I'm gonna sneak into this little hole here.
This is not easy for John, by the way.
Hey, you gotta remember too, I'm 6'8" and I'm in this coach.
Yeah, that's
So
pretty
if
good.
it looks a little small, it's just because I'm a big guy. Okay, so when we're gonna be in here having a shower, our drain is underneath here, as you can see.
Oh yeah.
All right. You can take these out if you want, or you can keep them in, but there's a switch up here. See the green light on?
Yeah.
And you may be able to hear that sound. That is the drain for the shower. It has its own separate pump.
Right.
Okay? When you're done, you just shut her off. Up top is a vent. You push that up, the little red button turns on, and that's your fan for exhausting out. We always want to make sure that we're in here having a shower, we have our fan going, drawing the moisture out. When it comes to RVs, moisture is the enemy, so you want to make sure you exhaust that out at all times, okay? When we're done, I prefer to use 2 fingers to bring it down instead of just pulling it in the middle. That way you're not going to damage it. We'll put our little sink stopper back in there. There we go. The shower head has a shut off. You can stop the flow if you want, lather up, and then rinse off. Turn around, we got a little bit of storage up top. Things in. Then our shower curtain here, as you can see, it's got little snaps on the ceiling. You snap it into place, it'll hang down, and you can be separate. Or you can just have it open if you want. It's
Okay.
up to you the way you want to use it.
All right, so you don't have to use that shower
No, you
curtain.
don't have to.
Okay.
It has a toilet bowl cleaner.
Wow.
Now, this only sprays if you are flushing at the same time.
Okay.
So you can't have a water fight in here. And the bag will be off that as well.
Okay.
Now I'm going to sneak out of here. There we go. Okay. Open this one. And open this one. This is the screen that you can put in place for the back door when you have them open. You have your main screen for the sliding door.
Right.
There's a couple bags up in here. These bags are for the front window blockers. Okay? You have 4 different ones. One for the windshield, one for the passenger door, one for the driver's door, and one for the sliding door. They work on magnets as well. You put them in a place, they hold themselves in there.
Oh, nice. No struggling.
No struggling, no straps, no trying to hold them up. Makes life
Yeah.
a lot easier. Down below right here, there's a drawer that pulls out. You can store things in there. And as we saw, we had our jack down in here, the adapters in there, and the
Right.
compressor. You also have more places to put things in.
Wow.
Opens either way. Okay. And up here as well. So plenty of places to put things out of the way. And of course a little cubby right here. Now as we see, there's a big piece of black leather there. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop the top off here and here, and there's your main breaker panel. So if you hear a big thwack in the middle of the night, it's one of these little guys. Turn it all the way off, reset it, you're back in business. There we go. It's nice to have the cover on, it just keeps it out of the way,
Yeah.
and nobody bumps in and flips
Yeah.
one of these off.
Makes it look tidy.
Yeah. Also here, we can store things in each one of these little holders. Make sure you Velcro them back in place well so that when you bring the bed down, everything doesn't roll out onto the floor.
Yeah, right.
They all work the same. Nice and easy. Okay.
Wow, that's strong Velcro.
Very strong Velcro. And it has an end one. So if you had something big,
Oh, yeah.
you can slide in
Slide
all
it
the way
through.
along. Such as a keyboard or something you want to take with you.
Yeah.
You know, like a small piano keyboard.
Right.
Now, right above me is our air conditioner. Currently, we're plugged into 30 amps, so I'm not worried about how much power I'm going to be drawing. So when we look at this, right here we're in the off position. bring it around. This is fan mode. I'm going to turn that back off because it's really loud right now. But if you were only down to 15 amps, you're going to use the fan mode. The fan mode is going to draw in fresh air from outside, help push the hot air out. If you're not plugged into power, then you can use your fantastic fan to pull the hot air out. If you want to use it on air conditioning mode, and this will be a little bit loud, we're going to go past our fan modes and bring it over to cool. We can set our temperature right here and how cold we want it to be. We set it to a certain point. I'm going to bring this around so we're not so loud. You can set it to how cold you want it to be here. It'll cool the van down and it will shut down. When it starts to warm up in here, it's going to automatically turn back on. So it'll not be going the whole time. So it'll work like a thermostat, just like a furnace in your house.
Okay.
You have several ways of exhausting it out. You can open up our flap here or close them. It depends on where you want it to go. You can open these two little guys up if you want and stand directly underneath it to cool off. Having these closed is going to send it out either end, so it'll distribute the cold air better. Microwave. Nice size, lots of room in there.
Popcorn?
Popcorn, do anything you want.
Yeah.
It's got a setting on it here. We got popcorn, potato, and pizza.
Excellent.
So it makes it real easy.
The 3 food groups, right?
Yeah, sort of. Unlock. Open our fridge.
Love this fridge.
Now, right now the fridge is off. So you can see our little dial right here. It's at 0. We're going to bring this around. And you can hear it click in. Very, very quiet.
Wow. Really quiet.
Nice thing about this unit is it has the separate freezer instead of just a tiny little ice box.
Nice. Couple of steaks, some ice cream.
Always put your locks on. I'm just going to turn this off.
It is quiet.
So, and the lock is on. Down below is a little subwoofer. So if you really want to watch your movie loud and enjoy it, it's going to sound great. Open our cupboard here. This is the extra cushion that goes in for making the bed in the dinette area. I'm just going to put this right up here so it's out of the way. As you can see, you can hang things in here as well. When you look up, you notice that there's a cord there with a plug. That's just where the microwave is plugged in.
So could you unplug the microwave and plug something else in if you wanted to?
Yes.
Okay.
But there, there's other plugs in the coach that you can use.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So let's take a look at some complicated stuff. As I sneak in here so we'll all be able to see. Okay. So when we look up here, this right now is for our water pump. Being that we're winterized, I don't want to turn the water pump on. But when you get the coach, it will not be winterized. When you turn your water pump on, it'll come up to pressure and you can use all your taps in the coach. If you're hooked to city water, you do not need to turn the pump on, it bypasses the pump. We go over to the next one. This says tank level. You press our button, it tells us what we have in our tanks. So you can see we got 1/3 fresh water and 1/4 LP, and it's showing gray waste tank at 0. The black tank you have to keep an eye on.
Yes.
And it's very simple because every time you're flush, you can see what's down in that tank.
Lovely.
Next one over is our battery levels, and it shows you what's going on at all times. You can see your chassis at 12.3, coach batteries at 14.4. You got plenty of power.
So is 14.4 the max that you would expect to see in the coach?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But being that the fact the charger's going, it's going to be a little bit higher than normal.
Right.
Most of the times, a fully charged 12-volt battery is 13.75.
Oh, okay.
Now, the only way for these batteries to charge when you're plugged in is if the battery system up and behind that cloth is turned on.
Oh, up here.
Yes. Just in behind that little cloth is the main battery switch.
Okay.
And it has to be on when you're plugged into power. It has to be on when you're driving down the road. Otherwise, you will not get a charge into the batteries.
Should I take that cloth off so we can see?
Sure.
Oh, look at that.
Pulls up, and there she is right there.
Okay. That's great that the cloth is there, otherwise you'd be looking at that green
Yeah, you
light.
have this big green light all night.
You'd think you're on Mars.
The big green circle is the main button that you press and hold. Let your finger off, give it a second, and it'll shut down.
Yeah, you really have to just wait that moment.
You need a little bit of patience with it, and it'll do it all on itself.
Yeah.
The reason why is it's shutting down properly. Instead of a hard shutdown, it's a nice soft shutdown to shut down correctly. This is our secondary propane switch right here. If I turn that to off, it automatically closes the electronic valve. No propane comes up into the coach. We'll leave that on for a second here because we're going to need it. When we go over to here, this is the inverter. Now, if you are plugged into power, we do not turn the inverter on.
Great.
Always unplug the coach first, and then you can turn your inverter on. This is for use when you're driving down the road and you want to keep the fridge running, because the fridge is 110. Good? There are different settings on the inverter. It's already set to what you need it to do. So you don't have to play with it. All you have to do is turn it off and on.
Good.
But like I said, it's a temporary use and the vehicle should be running. You have to remember that something is converting 12 volt into 110, so it's a lot of draw. When we look over here, that's just for heated tanks.
So, okay, talk about the heated tanks. Is that for, what, can you use them when you're driving or only when you've stopped?
It's best when you're parked.
Okay.
You're plugged into power, you turn those on, the little heating pads on the gray and black tank.
Okay. So.
Only if it's really cold out.
Okay, like below zero.
That's right. When you get down below 4, -4, then it's a good idea to have them.
Yeah.
There is another way without drawing so much extra power, is you could dump some antifreeze down into the gray tank and the black tank. Not car antifreeze, proper RV antifreeze.
Right.
And that keeps anything from freezing as well. This right here, it just shows you the power that's coming in. You can actually change it. You can take it down if you want. There's 20 amps and there's 15 amps. So if you were plugged in at the house, most people don't have a 30 amp on the outside of the house. So what you would do is set it to 15 amps and have it. So you ready to go?
Ready to go.
Okay, so right up in here, this is our TrueMe Combi system. Runs the furnace and the hot water tank. It also has a special feature that we'll get to near the end of this part. What we're going to do first is press our button. Brings everything up. See the little guy flashing right now?
Yeah.
That shows the whole unit. That's our furnace. Click on that. See how it's off? When we come up, and we can come up in our temperature, how warm we would like it to be. Goes to 30. And that's going to get really warm.
So remember, these are all Celsius. So for you, it's double it and add 32. That's the ish.
That's going to be major hot in here.
Really hot.
And back up and off. Up just like that. Bring it all the way back down to off when you don't want the furnace on. Okay, now we're going to scroll over. Boom. There we go. There's our water side.
Oh yeah.
So click on that. Off. We have Eco, Hot, and Boost.
Whoa.
Boost is extremely hot.
Yes.
And it's right away. Now, here's one feature we can do. We can go to hot, press this in again, move over one. See this little guy here? We click on that and we can run it on gas, or we can mix it. So gas and electric. We have 2 different levels of it. We go up, electric only, 1, 2. So it's only gonna run on electric that way.
Okay.
You can run it on both, or you can run it strictly on propane. It's up to you. Put this back down. Okay. That. Now, when we click over here, see this little guy flashing with the fan?
Yep.
That's for vent. So right now it's on off. I'm gonna get that on our vent, because we don't have the furnace on. So we're gonna go back to our furnace. Okay. Bring it up just a little bit. Bring it over to our vent. Click that on. high and low, eco. Eco is perfect right there. What, if I can get this to go, yeah, right, I want it on vent with our furnace going, so what I'm gonna have to do here is get back to our hot water, and turn that to off. I'm gonna go to our furnace one. Okay, it's at 7 right now, bring it up a little bit more. Okay, and we're gonna go all the way over to our vent. Click that, see how it's sitting on eco right now?
Yeah.
You can go eco or you can go high. We're gonna have this on eco. This is for the winter time. You've got your unit plugged in, so your batteries are gonna be charging up. Your batteries are underneath the coach. So we have to have our furnace running on a low setting and have our fan on. That vent keeps it warm around the batteries. We don't want them to get super cold. So this is one I was talking about, making sure you keep your propane topped up. You've got it plugged in at the house. You got it on furnace setting with a low temperature just to keep it semi-warm in here. Turn your vent on to keep your batteries warm. And this is also in your manuals too, in case it's a little too fast for you.
Oh, yeah. Thank goodness there's manuals.
So I'm going to hit our button here and take us over to our fan. Okay. We want it to be on nothing, so we're going to go all the way back to our furnace. Press that, bring this down all the way to off. Okay. If we go over to our fan right now, it's in the off position.
Okay.
So it will only work with the furnace on, okay? Now, if we leave this alone, it'll go off on its own. I'm just going to check our hot water. Yep, our hot water's off. That's good. We go over to our mix. It's on the gas mode, which is the fastest to heat it up. Now, if I leave this alone, after a little while, this will go blank as well. So we don't have a light on all night. Down below is for the service tech. You can go in and check things to see how things are running.
Where's that?
When we go here, see, if we
okay.
scroll past these,
Yeah.
it starts flashing down here
Yeah.
and flashing here, mechanic.
Yeah, mechanic.
Okay?
Got
That's
it.
only for them.
Okay.
It'll give them a chance to diagnose if something isn't working the way it should be. And like I said, after a little while, that's going to go away so we don't have this light on all the time. Okay. These little guys here, just press them and they come on. We also have a 110 plug right here.
Oh, that's great for computer or something.
Plus, you have your 12 volt if needed. Up top in the little cubby, number 1 and number 2. Our little power button is the happy face with one eyeball in the top left corner.
That's a good way to introduce it.
There we go.
Windows backup camera. Is it comfortable?
And we have sound. And I can hear the subwoofer going as well.
Make a funny sound when it does. If you want something.
Now you have different zones that you can use here. So I'm going to turn this zone down. And then we look, there's a little button up here that says zones. Right. So what's it say right now? Zone B.
Yeah. So is that outside?
Some of them are the B, some of them are on C. Well, let's see here. What'd that go?
No available sources?
No. Zone. Stop for a second. So
Okay.
let's get this little cushion out of the way here. Best is we're going to move our front seat forward.
You really gotta like people to invite them to sleep over, because this is not an
It
easy
can't be
thing.
super small.
No.
Now, it has a small other feature here. You can undo this little guy. Pull that down.
Oh, you pulled the knob down.
Yep.
Right. Okay, and that lets
Now
you
a person
extend it.
sitting here can eat as well.
Yeah, because you could ultimately sit 5 people here once you turn both of those chairs around, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna put this back into place, like that.
And there's, down here is the little knob that John was pulling.
That's right.
Okay.
Now, what we want to do is bring this up a little bit. You're gonna press the button on the right side of the leg to fold it up out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
Then, it's gonna come off the back support on the wall. And what you need to do is slide it forward a bit. A little awkward for a guy 6'8", but you've got to get to a certain point where it's not going to be going up against the cushion. Something here again. There we go.
So you got to use a fair bit of force to do that, right?
We'll bring this down. Yeah.
Okay.
So that one's going to sit there, just like that. Okay.
So it's rested there, it's safe there,
Yep,
right?
it's
Okay.
up against, it can't go anywhere.
Okay.
We have a couple different cushions in here. So we're going to grab this one out of here. Now, I'm going to flip this one over. See how we have a little rod right in here?
Yeah.
So, I'm going to pull our rod out.
Okay. This is probably an integral part of this bed. Right.
Like that.
So you're in that little spot and you're in that little spot.
Then what we want to do is be able to place this in the right spot here. We have a little Velcro here. As we saw, there's Velcro on the post. So, like this. That clicks into spot there.
Right.
Then this guy's going to sit on here, and we're going to slide this one forward.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
But I'm looking at something different, thinking, let's make this even bigger and better. Jam this one down into here. Take your back cushion and put this on the bed.
Right.
Okay? You just got to get everything to squeeze into place. And there we go.
You know, I've heard a lot of people will use pool noodles to fill in these
Yep.
holes. Now, pool noodles are your friend when
These
it comes
do
to
fit
RVing.
really nicely and tight,
Yeah, they're
which
pretty
is great.
tight. Yeah.
That's the only real difficult part of the coach. It's a little, you know, a little difficult to play with, but once you've done it a few times, it's easy as pie.
And John has done this a few times.
Yeah.
If a customer asks me to demonstrate
Oh.
this, I just say, oh, don't you worry, John's going to show you how.
When you're going to take this off, come from the front, get it off the Velcro that way. Okay, because otherwise if you go this way, it pops it off the other side. So, I'm going to slide this right back into here. And that gets that out of the way. This can either be stored in the small closet or in behind the back bed, or like we had it up in the top part here. There. So this one here, it has room to store in this little spot here. But it's up to you where you would like to have it. Go. Just like that. Then we're going to bring our table up. Just come up a ways. We're going to move it over so we can get it to click into the wall. Just like that. Then our little leg, that little button on the side, is going to come down, and there we are.
Can you do that little button again? Because I don't
right
think
there. It's on the right side of the leg.
Okay.
Press in.
Yeah,
flips
and then
up.
it flips up. Got it.
So press down. Flip it back down. And
Right.
there we go.
Okay.
Now, on your key fob, with your key, you get a separate little key. This is for something really important. If we look down below here, you can see there's a built-in cupboard.
Oh yeah.
So this is where you can store your valuables and lock it.
Okay, good plan.
Now, if I could get down far enough here, show you how this opens up. So it just lifts up like that.
Oh yeah, so you could put your passport there. And,
Yep.
Yeah.
You can use it like a safe.
Right.
So once we close this, okay, then we're going to put our key in. Key to go the right way. And locked. Now nobody's getting in there.
Right.
So it gives you peace of mind that some of your valuables are locked away. All right. Okay, so the next step here is we've got a lot of stuff up front in the driver's area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go outside and get in through the driver's door, and Wendy can join me on the other side here and we can go through all those little things. Eliminate some of the noise.
Yeah, I'm gonna shut this too.
So when we're looking at our seats, there's a big bar in the very front. That's going to take us back and forth.
Right. I'll show you on mine. It's under there.
You have two corner levers. This one is going to enable us to swivel, and the other one is our recline. Your armrests are adjustable. See the little rotary guy here? I can turn this, have it higher, or turn it back the other way and make it a bit lower to however you're going to be comfortable driving down the road.
Okay. Just going to bring you over here again, because that is something that a lot of people, I don't know, it's just a funny thing to do, but it's going to be on the right hand side of your seat, and you really do need a little bit of force to just pull that out a bit.
Yeah.
So don't be shy.
Just put your palm against the top part, pull with your fingers.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm just going to put this in here for now. There we go. When we look over at our door here, this little guy, we can move it to this mirror here. Turn our key on. So it's pointing to the top left corner. That does the mirror, the big
Right.
mirror. If I turn it to the bottom left corner, it does the bottom one. So you're able to adjust both mirrors.
Yeah.
So if I take it over to the other side, then that's going to adjust our passenger top, go down one, and then we can adjust the bottom one.
Good.
You also have a switch here for our mirrors that brings them in.
Oh.
So if you go on a boat or you're in a tight area, you can bring the mirrors in. Hit this button again, and it takes our mirrors out.
And it does both at the same time?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, one thing, a word of caution. Do not push the mirrors in by hand.
Oh, good to
It
know.
breaks the gear that runs the mirror back and forth, and it's a $1,300 replacement.
Okay.
So if you see anybody trying to push your mirrors, please tell them to stop, and you can do it with your button here instead.
Yeah.
We have, of course, tap tap. We can make our windows go down. Hit the button and bring her back up.
Yes.
Now you have to hold it to bring it up, but it has the auto down.
Right. I think it's like that on a lot of vehicles, isn't it?
Yeah. Both sides have a grab handle that makes it easier for getting in and out. Whenever your key is in the ignition in any kind of on position, you're going to find this little light is on.
Okay, so what does that mean?
It means you had the key in the ignition.
Just like that.
It
right?
registers that you're there.
I had to ask.
You have, of course, your map lights as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, of course, you have the lights that work with the door. Right there in the middle. Okay. And then after a while, they will turn off on their own.
Right.
Now, has a few different features. We saw our little push button for our alternator here.
Oh, hang on.
Okay. As we saw that earlier.
Yeah. It's right there underneath that vent.
That's right.
Okay.
And that gives you have instructions up here and in your manual that tells you how to use that properly.
Oh, good. Good, good.
Now we got a bunch of different things here. Let's just start her up. And you can have it running with it plugged in. Just don't drive away. Up very top, of course, our signals. Okay. And of course, we have headlight switch. Okay. Down below, when we're looking at this little lever right here, is for our cruise control. You can push up by setting it. Okay. Resume it and set. Resume is on the side here, sorry. Okay. When you get up to the speed you want, set, and it's good to go. Of course, as soon as you touch the brake, it's going to turn the cruise control off.
Yeah.
But if you want to keep going, what you can do is let off the brake pedal again, hit your resume, and it's going to take you back up to the speed you were going.
Right.
On the other side, we have our wipers. And we have how fast we want them to go or how slow we want them to go. Bring it down again, and we go different speeds.
Oh, well, that's fun. When there's nothing on TV.
If I pull back on it, we're going to see something hit the windshield. We get our windshield washer fluid. And there's no fooling around with it. It works extremely well.
It does.
Take it up. Now, if I want to just do a mist, I can just take it up once. It'll get rid of the little bit of spray if it's just sprinkling a little bit.
Right. Can we just touch on the lights? Because I don't know if in the US it's mandatory to have daylight or daytime running lights.
Daytime running lights come on when you put it into drive.
Yeah.
So they'll be there automatically.
Right.
Your headlight switch is right now is set for automatic. So everything will come on when it gets dark anyways.
Okay.
Okay. Leave it on automatic. You have a tow haul button right here. So when I press that in, little tow haul shows up right here. Okay. This is only if you're going to tow something behind you. If by chance you see that on, just turn it off, okay? Because it's not necessary.
No. Okay.
See, if you want to see when I hit the button, it'll come on. Boop, there we go, tow haul.
Right. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Yeah.
And off.
Yeah.
Of course, the P is, of course, our parking brake. Okay. Shifter's pretty easy. There's reverse. We look at our stereo.